One down out of 5.
1 out of 5.
Yeah. I got a 96.
Of course.
And
Good
then
job.
another quiz. Got a 10 out of 10 on that.
Got it.
Got a weekend class coming up. And then 4 more finals next week.
How long is the course altogether?
It's 900 hours altogether. 3 years if you go full. 2 years if you go full time both years. I'm gonna switch to part time after the next term.
So it'll be an extra 2 years then.
Yeah, so it'll be 3 years total. Yeah.
That's good. It's probably better for your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Too crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, overachiever. I can appreciate that.
Yeah,
You gotta get it done.
that's right.
Help those people.
And at least, I think it was meant to work out this way because they split up the program. So if you do the first 450 hours, there's a certificate that you get. You'll be allowed to call yourself an Ayurvedic health counselor. And then after you finish the full 900 hours, then you'll be called an Ayurvedic practitioner.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. So
And then if you continue on, go to India and study another 2 years, then you can be an Ayurvedic doctor.
man, I'm so excited.
But you can't call yourself an Ayurvedic a doctor in America.
Never.
Ayurveda. No, it's not allowed.
Not allowed. Don't even think about it.
That's why the dairy industry was trying to not allow nut milks, like milk alternatives, to call themselves milk. They wanted it to be called nut juice. Do you hear about that?
Yuck.
Not almond milk. It's almond nut juice.
That's disgusting.
Sounds gross. Yeah, that's what they were trying to do, but it didn't pass.
And the dairy
Yeah, because
or whatever.
yeah, dairy lobbyists or whatever, because they want to eliminate the competition. Like that stuff isn't real milk. It's juice made from nuts.
Makes sense. It does sound gross though.
It does.
Nut juice, yuck. That sounds like that would be devastating for the nut juice folks anyway. That's good. Anything come up since last week? How about stupid face girl?
She actually, I don't know what happened to her. She didn't I didn't see her in any of the classes talking.
Oh, good.
Not that I can recall. I don't know if I mentioned there was that other girl that was trying to say that whose husband is a Vedic astrologer, and the teacher actually called on her and was like encouraging her to share about her husband's work, because yesterday's class we covered we did like a very, very brief introduction to Vedic astrology, which I thought about sending an email to the teacher about, and I thought about sending her an article that I found when I was doing my deep dive into like when I first had that discussion with Kari, and I thought about sending her this article that said that the term Vedic astrology is really a misnomer because there is no single consensus on like in order to be called Vedic astrology, like you would think, oh, this is from directly from the Vedas, and this is like the system that they use, right? But
Yeah.
there's no such thing as a singular system. Like under sidereal, that way of calculating the charts, there's at least from the research that I did, there were at least like 7 or 8, possibly even 13 different names of different like calculations of when that's of how many degrees of a variation and where each sign should start. So it's a total difference of 10 whole degrees if you look at all of the whatever, right? But but anyway, she was still repeating the same things about how this is the system. Like she was basically shooting the rest of us, right? Like this is the system. Like you can't divorce one system from another. Like the Vedas are a very rich and whatever thing, and you as Ayurveda students, like it's our response. I forget what exact word she used, but she was like, it's our responsibility and duty to learn the full system is basically what I gleaned, right? And of course, like it helped having had this whole thing to be able to talk, to be able to sit and watch, because and like witness, like ask myself, what part of me is feeling like ripping her to shreds right now? What part of me wants to make her, call her out for making something up, for pretending, for, okay, what part of me wants to ask, what part of, yeah, no, I'll just say it the way that my ego says it, right? What part of me wants to point out that how she's pretending like whole integrated truth and authenticity is important to her, and yet she made shit up about the reason why what she said was wrong, right? She said, if you look up in the sky right now, Mercury will be retrograding in I think we thought it was going to be in Aquarius. Yeah, so Western astrology said it was in Pisces, but she said because in her Vedic website that she looked up, it's in Aquarius. It's going to be in Aquarius. Like when you look up in the sky, that's where it's going to be. It's not going to be at the one that the Western astrology says. And so, yeah, and when I looked it up, it wasn't. And you made shit up about how it's because Mercury is closest to the sun. No, bitch. There's at least 2 good reasons that I was able to find. One is this whole issue of where the chart starts, how there's variations that are up to 10 degrees of a difference. Like each sign is 30 degrees, right? There's 12 signs, 360-degree circle, and 30 degrees each. So at least 1/3 of a variance is what we're talking about here, first of all. Secondly, the signs again are split up into 12 equal parts of a circle. But if we look up in the sky, the signs do not take up exactly 1/3, or they do not take up exactly the same amount of space, like the stars that make up the constellation don't. And so obviously between those 2 issues, that can very like reasonably explain why it's not in the right sign, that it's going, that whatever system you use says. And you made up some shit about the planet, it's because it's closer to the sun. And then here you are talking about authenticity and integrity. Bullshit. Dumbass bitch, right? Like, there's a part of me that wants to say that. And I'm just like watching, right? And then, yeah. And then like Denise was saying, like, it's because you're really hard on yourself that you find it hard to be more forgiving towards others. So I was like, okay, so let's find that part of me, not judge that part. That part's there for a very good reason. And yeah, I just made it a practice of sitting with it instead. The only question that I asked the teacher was, I didn't ask about all of that other stuff, right? The only question I asked because I had to, right? Like that's what's authentic to me, is questioning and bringing to light. And but I didn't want to ask a question that was designed to make myself sound whatever and like prove anybody else really like directly wrong. So I just asked like, so which ahamasa, or something like that is what all of the different sidereal systems are called. So I just asked, which one do you ascribe to? And then, yeah, that's when the whole thing came out about, yeah. So I think she said that she mentioned the Lahiri system, which is what Google said the Indian government uses. And that's the one that I checked Mercury against, and it was wrong. So anyway, yeah, that's the only thing that came up really.
Well, it's good to witness it. It's good to notice because you'll find that if you watch long enough, you are also full of shit. If you watch, at least that's the case with myself. It's on everything. I mean, if you go deep enough, it's all built on a lie. You know, their system is built on a lie. Sure, it's not exactly right. And people kind of they end up figuring out what works good enough, and then they are aware it's good enough, which is abnormal, or they just accept and believe and strategically forget anything that doesn't support that belief. That's normal. I mean, that's super normal filtering that people do. We just either we forget any other data, or we just don't see it. It's literally right in front of us. Someone says it to us, and it's just like we filter it.
That's what our brains are designed to do.
Yeah. And that's just normal human. And so if I know that's normal human, I can have some grace, and I could have more grace if I know I'm doing it to myself, even if I don't know I'm doing it. And then I can even have more grace when I watch to find how I'm doing it myself, which is harder to do because, man, we're so good at it. We're so good at it. I was sitting in, I've been like more distraught than normal lately, just with work. Just because it's a lot harder, I guess. It's mostly the expectation of what it was going to be like and what it's like. It's a lot harder, and then what I'll do is I'll project what I'm doing right now into the future, and I'm like, and then I'll have this feeling of this is what it's going to be like for the rest of my life, like that. And it's complete overwhelm, and from the overwhelm, it's just unbearable kind of feeling. Anyway, so carrying that weight and talking myself off the ledge of taking more breaks, and it's not going to be like this forever, and it's a startup, and I don't have to do anything forever, and those kind of things. But so I was sitting in the my gym has a sauna, yeah, and I'm sitting there, and there's a lot of people in the sauna, and so I sit on the seat, and like the guys are all stacked up pretty close to each other, and everybody left then. So then it was just me and this other kid right next to him. There's a lot of space, but I was sitting like a couple of inches from him.
You were?
Yeah, because I didn't move when everyone moved, right? So a bunch of guys got up. So now it's a whole empty bench, and then me and me and the stranger sitting like right next to each other. and I'm like, well, whatever. Someone else is gonna come in, and I did move. And I closed my eyes. I kind of try to meditate in the sauna, just this quiet place. So I'm not having on my phone and all this. So it's great. Anyway, the kid's like, hey, bro. And I didn't even know he was talking to me at first, but after a while of his hey bros, I finally look up and he wanted me to move over.
Why doesn't he move?
Well, lots of good questions. Anyway, so I instantly got so angry inside, like I wanted to smash his face, and and it was so interesting. And I noticed my own anger. I didn't say anything. I was so angry. I didn't say anything. I just paused for a second to try to determine, should I smash his face or should I move over? And then I just scooted over, and I didn't say anything. Still, it was like it was a very tense moment for myself. And then, but then I just, it was so interesting though for myself just to watch myself get so angry, like in that moment, like what's going on? I had a lot of reasons why, this guy was a young punk. There's all kinds of reasons why he deserved for me to smash him, which I really wanted to do. He brought his phone in to the sauna, and he was like watching shorts, not even with a headphone on, like loud, and it was and just his tone was like young punk tone. You're like, oh bro, yeah, so oh man, I don't know. I was gonna go do it. I took in the thing, and oh yeah, bro. I don't know if you can imagine the Huntington Beach tone.
Yeah.
In full swing. And so he had this full bro, and he was exuding punkness. And so I had all the reasons why he deserved to be smashed. And but if I were to watch a little bit more, I would realize, well, this mostly naked guy sweating next to you inches away, there's lots of guys that wouldn't want to sit 2 inches from him when there's a whole room of other space. That's not abnormal to feel that way.
Sure.
It's not abnormal for space to open up for someone to scoot over and take that space, which I didn't do, just because I have my own reason. I'm like, well, I'm not going to move. Someone else is going to come. I would rather sit with my eyes closed, and whatever happens around me is fine. But that's all internal. He didn't know that. It's not abnormal. And so would it be, is it a foregone conclusion for me to, be offended? Is that the only solution? It's really not. But it felt like so real. And I'm like, well, is this the rest? This is just like my life. It's kind of like my whole life. I feel like this is the only reasonable solution. And he probably felt the same way. Like
that him moving isn't an option.
Yeah, it's like, what the heck is this guy's problem? He was like almost touching me. It was horrible. Old sweaty guy, move over, bro. He might have been thinking, I'm gonna smash him, or whatever. It would have been on. But it's just like the rest of life, we do these weird things, like I'm certainly not prone to violence, and here I am in this little box wanting to beat up a kid. For why? Well, who knows, right? I don't even know. Maybe it was the stress of the rest of my life. Probably had something to do with it. And I put meaning on this situation, like, well, this is obvious. This is what I have to do. And people do that for their, life. People do that to defend an idea that they've had for 5 minutes. Imagine spending years developing an idea or a lifetime with their Ayurvedic stuff, you know, they're very prone to defend it and figure out ways to defend it and figure out ways to forget things that don't support their idea. You know, it's just like, that's total human nature. Doesn't mean they're not wrong.
I bet you she got shamed at some point for being shallow or not learning the whole story or whatever it is. Because, I mean, obviously, even in this situation, she didn't learn the whole story. She's not the Vedic astrologer. Her husband is. She's not the one who's like familiar with it. It's her husband, and her husband's Indian. So, white woman married to an Indian man who's like going to also be talking at the National Ayurvedic Convention and about the astrology and everything, having written a book and sort of an expert in the field and
big systems.
And her being a white woman probably
don't question. Don't
told at some point, like you need to you don't know enough, you're not learning all the right things, so you have to do it that way. You
don't even have enough, you aren't even good enough to even question what we're telling you, just accept by faith. But that's what it was like in when I was in fundamental religion side. You can't question, because even if you question, that's a sin. And that's enough to send you possibly to hell. I remember questioning or reading certain books that were satanic, because because they were about Satanism, which is actually
but it's about blood sacrifice, which is
or anything, you know, not Christian, right? It could have been possibly satanic.
Or talking about different books in the Bible that talk about satanic things like blood sacrifice, which is clearly not loving. And but okay.
But you know, just reading, let's say, any kind of spiritual work, you know, reading the Bhagavad Gita, you know, that would have been a really big no-no at the time. And so it's just because it's other literature, and in my circle, that's what it was like. That's how necessarily how all religions are in any sect. There's tons of sects, tons of denominations of everything. But for me, it was you can't read, you can't question, and if you did, that's you open yourself up to Satan. What's the idea? And so it keeps you stuck. It keeps you unquestioning. And so that presupposes that you got it perfect. But if you think you're in a body, if you think you're a personality, you automatically don't have it perfect, no matter how good you have it, because you have formed a world of separation, which is inherently not true.
I'm realizing too, I mean, the whole rant that I went on, it's also a shooting, right?
Don't you shit on me.
You want to shit on me? You should be more aligned in the words you're saying.
You shouldn't should. You shitter.
How dare you shit on me?
That's right. For sure. And it's funny because I would totally get offended and should someone that's shitting me.
It's so easy. They gave you a perfect reason to do so.
That's right.
Can you imagine if that kid punched you in the face? How justified would you have been?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I thought that through, actually. I'm like, well, if I smash this kid, you know, this old dude smashing, I don't know, he's probably 20 years old. And like, that's a good court case. I mean, I would really have to defend myself. Maybe, I don't know. Or maybe he would get in trouble for trying to beat up an old guy. I don't know. But crazy. Or maybe he was younger. I don't even know. It's hard to tell, you know.
Yeah, it really is. All the hormones that they're getting from foods. Yeah.
So And then even worse, maybe this young kid beat me up. Oh my gosh, that would have been so embarrassing. So anyway, it's yeah, I just watching myself and having some like state, because I'll position myself uh in the world as someone who knows. That's one of the things that I really like. My favorite game is knowing already.
Yeah.
And then I'm subtle about it. I try to be curious. I try to uh talk about how I'm working on myself, which is all true. But always have this subtle game going. It's automatic that I want to know and I want to have it figured out, and I want to be the one that fixes it, accomplishes it, figures things out, be the one that gives to others because I don't need anybody. That's one of my rackets.
Oh my God. Are you making fun of me right now?
That's a 3 racket.
Are you saying what applies to you? Are you saying that this applies to you, but you're subtly saying that that's what I am doing?
Well, if you're a 3, it does apply to you. That's a 3 racket. And so I go about, and like this last week, I had I was just really heavy because it's getting so hard, like way harder than I like, which has got to be pretty hard because I can handle quite a bit. And then I'll have well-natured friends trying to like help me, right? Because I'm trying to be authentic and I'm sharing what I'm going through, and then they'll try to help me by whatever, talk about some spiritual thing or ask me about managing my state, and then internally I'm getting offended that they would try to help me because I don't need their help. I don't need your help. Internally I'm thinking,
Like, you saying I don't know that?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You think I don't know that? Oh, you think you know more than me?
I've taught classes on that. All right. It's not even I don't know that. I'm already the expert at that. And I could very well once again miss the thing I know, just like your friend misses purposefully or unpurposefully, consciously, unconsciously, whatever, misses the thing that doesn't support what they're in right now. And what I happen to be in is being overwhelmed. I'm not willing to let go of the thing I'm trying to figure out, which is whatever dollar amounts or different really short-term accomplishments, and these other dynamics that I don't want to see or don't want to let go of. I'm not willing to be flexible in, and so I suffer. It's a miracle that I don't suffer more, only by the grace of God. But it's funny. It's like, I don't know. Just watch so much. My point of all that is watching myself do it. It gives me so much more grace for others. And then sometimes, like wanting to smash the kid, I'm just in it, and the best I can do in those moments is just not react. It's the best I can do. I'm just not going to react. I'm going to just go within. I'm going to experience my own rage, whatever. And then my mom actually called me again and wanted money, which wasn't that bad. But then she wouldn't take the suggestions that I needed her to do. Like I needed her to figure out how to put an app on her phone so that I could give her money, because right now she has no technology. I have to actually go write a check at Wells Fargo and deposit it in her account in Wells Fargo. I have to physically show up. They won't take a transfer because I'm not on the account. They won't take cash because it's illegal to take cash because of a bigger monetary system that's trying to control us. It has to be, I show up and write a check. I'm like, listen, I asked you a month ago to figure out how to put this app on. And I asked you a month ago to take the free ride that's available to you to go to the county clerk and get the death certificate so I can get on your account so I can transfer easy. And you're not doing it. And then she's like, I can't. And then I'm just like,
well, then I can't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was just like full dad voice on her, and so I got dad voice on her, and she's like, you need to respect me. I'm like, actually, I don't need to respect you. and I'm trying to help you, and you need to do what I asked you to do to help you. You know. Anyway, it turned into a big thing, and she's going. She went a little nuts, and I was really hard on her, to be honest. You know, I don't do name calling, and I'm not mean with my words, but I go full dad voice though.
Mm.
You know, like, listen, I asked you to help me to help you, and you didn't. Not because you can't, but because you didn't. Like that. And she didn't like that at all. Which, I mean, I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah. I don't call people names in person either. Just yeah. Just think it in my mind.
Oh yeah, no, that's not insinuating it for you at all. I'm just saying my particular attack is still an attack, even though it's not really, you know, because I try to be intentional all the time, but it's still an attack.
Mm.
She felt it.
Mm. Yeah.
And so another racket. It's another racket of mine, you know, another racket. I am attacking the offender. This time it's my mom. The other time it's the punk in the sauna. Could they be all friends? Well, how are they both my friends?
Well, I know for me, this girl was a friend because I really got to sit with the part of me that got hurt by the Catholic Church.
You got to see that.
Mm-hmm. And I got to sit with her. And yeah, like not trying to. There was a little voice that jumped up for a second, like, you should try to be loving. You should try to love her, right? And I was like, shut up, not right now.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of something.
Right now, I'm just, huh?
You're like, shut up, I'm in the middle of something.
Yeah. That's called bypassing. If I were to choose to do that right now, that would be bypassing. Right now, I need to sit with this 8-year-old Suman that had very legitimate, curious questions. And yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, what is it? I think for me is there's a conversation of there's not enough in general in the world for me, and then I'm not enough, and that's a reoccurring conversation. If there's not enough and I'm not enough, what I have to do is strive to get it and achieve it, and from an unwilling world or even unwilling participants. And then in the 3 perspective, that is it's a role playing activity, because then I got to become who I need to be to accomplish it. And in the process of becoming that, I have the capacity to become anything. 3s are chameleons, so to speak. They can, an unhealthy 3 doesn't even know what it's like not to be becoming something else. Mm-hmm. They have no authentic state.
Such a Pisces.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. And so the problem with that is staying in that state is very stressful. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of weight. And mm-hmm. and I've been in more achievement mode than normal, just because mm-hmm. of my perceived scarcity. And so, is there enough? You know, my mom calling me for money, trigger. My mom just bugging me in general because she's not, because I don't enjoy being in a relationship with her. Trigger. You know, that kid, I don't know, disrespecting me, I guess. Bossing me around.
Making you, interrupting your meditation.
Interrupting me, making me move when he could have moved himself.
Mm-hmm.
usurping power over me. You know, that all that crazy talk. And so could all those things be very real in my experience? Well, they felt very real for sure. But when they trigger and I forget everything else, because when it triggers for me, anger for me, I feel it. Anger for me it's like fuel. It propels me to act. And so when I get angry with my kids, I propel into like, I need them to stop what they're doing so they don't get hurt or something that usually has to do with that. But it's like, it's this burst of energy that makes me want to do something. And, you know, fight or flight, really. And it's interesting, both those things. They propel, but it's all about, I'm not good enough in it, and there's not enough. So if that's addressed, if once I look at that and be like, okay, well, has there always been enough? There's always been enough. But I technically have enough right now. Yes, technically I have enough. It's unwarranted fear. Might hurt reality, but it's still a story that I engage with. And so then if I can release it, so the really only solution here is I release the story and trust God, in this case, that I don't know my own best interests, because I'm trying to get my best interest right now, and it's not happening fluidly, which is the real source of my angst and my anger, my frustration, and or if I release my frustration and anger for a moment, I dipped into sadness. And so I go from angry to sad, depressed, to anger to sad, depressed, you know, because I'm still holding on to it. The world has to look this way.
Yeah. They
have to look this way. And then when the moments where I'm okay, when I release it completely, like, well, it is what it is. I'm just going to be curious and be with whoever I'm with. Like, my mom was screaming at me. I hung up on her because she was losing it, because I was intentionally being a brat. She lost it on me, so I hung up on her. And then she called back later and she said, I tried. You're right. I found someone that helped me find an app. Could you help me send the money? I'm like, yes, I told you got it. I'll do that. And it was a normal conversation. I was planning on doing it anyway. I was just telling her to do what I wanted her to do, and so I didn't have to do this extra thing. So I ended up doing the thing, going to the bank. I called her and said, hey, I deposited it. They posted the money right away. And she's like, thank you so much, honey. I love you. And it was like this total normal conversation without as much of the heaviness. I still did not want to say I love you, because it's like the relationship is bonkers to me. I'm like, how in the world is this happening? But I still didn't have that internal either rage or frustration or whatever it is with her. It wasn't. I had let it go for that moment. So was that just pretending, or was that real? Which one was real? The dad frustration, anger, or the accepting peaceful moment of helping a crazy lady? Which one was real? I certainly prefer the help the crazy lady peaceful state. Like, I'll help her if I can, and if I can, I won't. That's kind of how it is with her. And but I determine my state, or do I? I don't know. Maybe it's like out of my control, and there's something else bigger than my personality. So that's where the Course in Miracles comes in. Is now I can watch myself be crazy or not crazy, and maybe I'm not my personality. Maybe maybe something closer to the real me is the one watching, Javon do his antics, because Javon, this is not the first time Javon's done that. All of that. Javon's done all of that. So I don't know. Any of that sound familiar with you?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some level they're both. They're both just, yeah. Mhm. I really do like that image of like you're holding an extremely full cup of water or like steaming hot coffee, whatever. And then somebody bumps into you and you spill it on yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why'd you make me do that?
Yeah. Why are you holding a steaming cup of coffee?
Okay. Next to your face in
Yeah.
traffic. Yeah, I know. That's a good picture of my life. There I am. It's funny because I'll do that and I'll be walking through my house, which is, it's like being in traffic with my boys.
Mm.
Or I'll have my cup of coffee in the morning and they'll be on the couch and I'll sit on the couch with them. It's like, come on, you're asking for it. It's inevitable. An inevitability. You will get that spilled.
Yeah.
And will I do it still? Yeah, sometimes I'll do it. Test fate.
Yeah. So I imagined that while as I was watching myself wanting to like seeing the inauthenticity and fakeness, right, in that classmate, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm basically watching the coffee evaporate. Like it's like, because they say it's only when actually in what Aaron Apke says is it's like you have like a sludge. The only way to empty that cup is actually, he says it as like two speakers, like two loudspeakers. One speaker playing like terrible, like, I know some people like death metal, but like I'm not a fan of death metal, so that would be just terrible, like, ugh, like grinding music, right? Noise. And then there's the speaker that's playing peaceful, like 432 hertz, like positive affirmative music. And then the only way to turn this dial up is when this is blaring. Like you don't really have an opportunity to choose to make the real choice unless you have that pressure. So while that is playing, you don't want to try to mess with the dial on this one. That doesn't do any help. And that's like if you were to engage, right, in the attacking back because you were offended by somebody being contradictory, whatever, or wanting you to move instead of moving themselves, whatever happening.
Mm.
While that's happening is the only opportunity for you to increase the dial on the pleasantness. And then as you increase the dial on the pleasantness, this one automatically kind of quiets down.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so there's no option to turn down what you dislike.
Because anytime you engage,
turn up what you do want.
yes, because whenever you engage with that, it just makes it worse.
Because you're effectively with your attention turning up what you don't want.
Yes.
Yeah, and so your attention is the dial knob, is your volume knob.
Yeah, the volume for the peace. Yeah, for not reacting, for not engaging on that level. Being able to like Yeah, anger definitely feels like an activation, right? And it's like a feeling. Whereas like you kind of gotta, it's like back and then down to be able to like kind of look. Like, drink my coffee. Instead of letting it spill on me.
Yeah, that's right. You still might be in traffic, but now you're paying attention to your surroundings. I'll take careful drips. Careful. I'm gonna move to the love seat and sip instead of sitting on the couch and sip coffee. I want to smarten up a little bit. That's okay. I'll move. Like the kid. Okay, I'll move.
Yeah.
All right, kid. You win. You win the unknown battle you didn't even know you were in. Your life is spared. You didn't even know it. Crazy. We're all crazy. I'm crazy for sure. All right. Well, that was a whole catch up.
Wow. It's 7.
7 o'clock. No time for A Course in Miracles. Got too much to catch up with. All right. Well, I feel a little better. What's our what should be our final thought to engage with the world in a more peaceful, pleasant way, more enjoyable way?
Just finding your peace, right? Choosing peace. Choosing your peace.
Is that question mark? Choose your peace?
Yeah. Because finding your peace implies you don't have it and you gotta go get it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's a good distinction.
But you're just choosing it.
Yeah, I like that. For me to choose my peace, I have to let go. So my attention knob, like you're talking about, from the death metal to the 432 hertz music, it's like they're both playing, like you said, and my attention is going to be what turns it up or makes it real for me. So choosing my peace, I have to really surrender to all the terrifying inevitabilities of failure. It has to be okay for me. And when things are okay, I focus on them. It's like being in the jungle and there's a lion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking around focused on lion. Even if there's no lion I'm focusing on lion. And I am embodying the battle of the lion, and the lion's not even here. But I'm carrying that all the time. And so the only way I can walk through the forest and be completely at peace is if I'm completely okay with the possibility of annihilation. That would be the only way that could happen. I'd have to surrender to being devoured to be completely free. Otherwise, I'm going to have lion in the back of my head and, live my life with protection.
Yeah.
So for me to engage with life, I have to completely surrender with annihilation. And that sucks unless there was some greater force that was already taking care of it for me. So could it be that God, whatever that is taking care of me? I intellectually think that is true, that there is a greater force that's taking care of this thing called Javon and all of Javon's stuff that he loves. Taking care of you, taking care of my family, whether that force is just my higher self or whether it's something. There's something that is taking care of us, and it's all going to work out perfect. And I even think intellectually that there are outcomes that I can't avoid, no matter how hard I try to achieve them differently, whether it's my ultimate success, in my opinion, or ultimate failure, in my opinion. both are unavoidable to an extent. I don't even know what that is. And so I don't have the information to even know not only what's success and failure, but also where it's going to be. And so for me to try to change that is complete insanity. That's what I do all day long. I try to make sure this thing that I know I need, quotation marks, happens, or no, I don't need it. And so it's actually insane to keep on. And so for me to be frustrated is maybe a good thing, because why would you feel great about something that's complete insanity? That's not good. So instead, wouldn't it be wonderful to pay attention to my triggers? This is painful. Stop stabbing yourself. It's good that stabbing yourself hurts. Pay attention. Siobhan, stop stabbing yourself. And then surrender to the things when I'm aligned that feel good. Because if I'm aligned and open and paying attention to that which is higher in state, I'll gravitate towards the best way of life. And then when it's off, I'll be able to feel it right away and stop trying to. So for me, it's just trust God, because it is my best, and I'll know that I need to let go when I suffer. It's been a whole week suffering because I haven't been letting go internally. So yeah, I think that's it for me. We gotta let go.
Let go and choose peace.
Yeah, choose peace.
Let go and choose peace.
Yeah. All right.
Good chatting with you.
You chatting. Yeah. Thank you.
Happy Friday.
See you Friday.
Have a good weekend.
All right. See you.